Did you know if you mix baking soda with honey and apple cider vinegar, mix it until it's like a paste, and boom, you got the best homemade natural remedy for pimples. Just put some on your finger, apply it on the pimple, leave it on overnight, and it'll disappear.
Lot to unpack here.
Did you know this content? This is not the first time we have seen him.
I don't know this content creator, and I don't know what the rest of the body of their work looks like, but anytime I see a lot of these like flashy edits with like sound effects, you know, editing like this, you always gotta be a little skeptical.
It's true. I've been using more of these just in my content.
I have to watch out. So we're gonna start integrating this into our. This entire video is gonna be a bunch of like sound effects every time we move our arms here. First of all, the focus of this video is gonna be spot treatments in general. What is the best spot treatment for that stubborn acne bump that shows up on a bad day? You need it gone within the next day or two. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna act quickly? So we're gonna talk about the best acne remedies that are quick and respond to therapy.
I'll say it here, I won't say it again. Acne is best treated preventatively. Anytime you're playing catch up, it's not gonna work as quickly as you want it. That's it, the only disclaimer. And also, we are maybe gonna build out this award show over the course of the year. We're gonna give a doctorly award for the best spot treatments in this video. And then maybe you can help us remember which products we've given them to throughout the year. But
the best spot treatment, here we go.
Here we go.
All right, so first, let's take it a quick step back here. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp. We are really grateful for them to give us an opportunity to talk about something that's really important to us, mental health.
Yeah, we have talked about this a few times in the past, but we can always and should always dig deeper. Mental health goes just so far beyond skincare. Like there's just one aspect where we see it professionally, like people's skin, whether it's acne or psoriasis, it just takes a toll on their whole person. And it's so amazing, I think, to walk through this journey with people in real life and see how they are transformed. Like it's subtle things, like more eye contact, more genuine and bigger smiles as you kind of see these people throughout the year. But even broader, over the last few years, people have just really been stuck at home, isolated. And I can tell you how many times I've heard this personally and professionally, just in different aspects of life. People are just feeling alone. And I think it's just something millions of people are struggling with quietly.
I'm very grateful that BetterHelp is sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service. It's 100% online, and you get to tap into their network of 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. You can message them, you can video chat with them. It's a really cool service that I've tried out myself.
And to get you started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network.
And if you don't like the therapist you initially work with, which can happen because a lot of times it's a personality fit to find the right person that you feel really understands your needs, then they can switch that out to a different therapist at any time for any reason with no additional charge.
For both the physicians and patients, you need someone to talk to. And so this does provide you with that licensed therapist where you can get help. And also, like Dr. Shaw said, if there's someone you connect to better with than someone you initially are working with, they have that option available too. So you can seek out that person you really connect with and just build that relationship with them.
If anyone's looking for a therapist to talk to, this is an amazing service to check out. It's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P.
You can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/doctorly. And I've also linked them below in the description, or you can also scan the QR code.
Definitely go check it out. I think if you need someone to talk to and you're struggling with any mental health issues, you're not alone. There are a lot of people like you. I have a lot of patients like that, family members, personal issues. So I think it's worth checking out. So thank you to BetterHelp. Now on to our spot treatments.
Back to our current topic at hand. This person gave me anxiety. He managed to create and integrate two of my least favorite at-home hack ingredients. Those are apple cider vinegar and baking soda.
Okay, so we have to dissect this video here. Okay, so the first part of this video, apple cider vinegar, very acidic, can be very irritating to the skin. Everyone swears it works for stuff, which I actually prefer acids over bases. So now you take in baking soda, which is a base, and then you kind of mix them together. So does that become neutral? Who knows what's happening? But he had honey in there, which you guys know I'm a big fan of honey. Honey is antimicrobial, antibiotic, so it does have the ability to maybe kill some of the acne-causing bacteria. But why would you do this in this economy?
This economy.
These aren't cheap. You could buy a spot treatment for cheaper, in my opinion. This is It's cheaper, less messy, and less potentially combustible.
Yeah, exothermic, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the best thing about this combination is exactly that. The base of the baking soda probably tempers the acidity of the apple cider vinegar. What I see people doing with these spot treatments, especially when it comes to acne at home, they really bank on the idea that everything is about killing the bacteria. Because if you just take a look at this, right? It's the baking soda, extremely alkaline. You can use it to cleanse things. Apple cider vinegar. The reason I am like very much dislike this ingredient is because it's touted as a cure-all. It sure can have benefits. It maybe modulates inflammation. It is certainly going to be able to kill some microbes. It is definitely not studied. Out of all of the over-counter ingredients, this is like very near the bottom of the scale. But that plus the baking soda and the honey, all antimicrobial. The problem there is sure, you're treating one step. Is it better than a cleanser? Is it better than just picking another leave-on product? I really don't think so.
I would just say like this is a 0 to me. Well, I'll give them like 2 out of 10 because of the honey.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, sure. 2 out of 10.
I give it 3 out of 10 because of the animations.
Okay.
So this is out. We're not doing this. Today we're going to give you the best spot treatments for you. There are a lot. When I was growing up, we did not have this robust options out there. They got a spot treatment for everything at this point. There's so many options at this point. We tried them so you don't have to.
That's it.
That's the thing today. Okay, so we're going to walk through the many different options that we have. All of them are good options. Let's start off with Simple Vichy Normaderm SOS. This is a 10% sulfur treatment. Also has a little bit of glycolic acid. What are your thoughts?
So I like sulfur, and I think this is a great space for sulfur. We actually talked about this too. This is one of those heritage ingredients where it's just been used for a long time. And maybe I'd like to see it used more. I think we're starting to. But this is a good purpose for it where it can help with the antibacterial part of it. It maybe modulates inflammation in a unique way. I think it's a nice reactive spot treatment for it as well. Also, it's actually pretty gentle. So it does have the glycolic acid, but it might be more gentle. Some of the high concentration benzoyl peroxide ingredients or some of the ones with benzoyl peroxide, glycolic, and a lot of fragrance.
So I think that this is also a great option here. I'm probably not going to pick this as my number one option, but this is definitely good. Sulfur is an ingredient that's underrated in the sense that it's underused. And also you don't see it in a lot of other acne products. So if you're already using retinoid in your routine, or you're already using salicylic acid in your routine, or you're already using a retinoid in your routine, this is an additional ingredient you can add as a spot treatment to maybe act in a different way from the rest of your ingredients. So I definitely put it high on the list, but I don't think I'm going to call it number one.
I agree. Banking on efficacy, it may not be the most effective, but it might be more gentle. I'm with him, not the number one. Also, it doesn't smell that bad. I don't know if you want to smell my hand or smell your hand.
Yeah, I'm not going to smell your hand.
I've smelled worse, stronger sulfur products.
It smells like sulfur, but it's not like a terrible egg smell like you would expect from a 10% sulfur product. So they do kind of mute the scent, and even though it is fragrance free. All right, so next up, let's talk about using a 2% salicylic acid treatment. Now, this one specifically, I went through the ingredient list from Murad. Not something I would personally recommend, but there are other 2% salicylic acid treatments that are out there. 2% salicylic acid is definitely an option as a spot treatment. What are your thoughts on that?
So salicylic, I've talked about it before. I like this ingredient more in your cleanser. Not that I don't like it as a spot treatment. There are a lot of great 2% sal acids. I like the vehicle though. The thing it brings to the table is it's very lipophilic. It absorbs into the oil. It helps remove oil. At lower concentrations, it's like modestly exfoliating. But 20% is pretty good for the... Did you say 20%? That's down 2.0, is it?
No,
nah, it's 2.0. I was going to say 20%. It doesn't sound right for a spot.
That's like a wart treatment right there. Don't put 20% salicylic acid on your face, by the way. 2% maximum as a spot treatment. But because there's not really any other supporting ingredients in this to complement this, I would say it's a good one, but not a great one. Now, moving on to the next ingredient that I would want to draw into this would be azelaic acid combined with salicylic acid, which you see in the Skin Fix spot treatment, which combines both of those ingredients. It also has some other calming and soothing ingredients there as well, but it's combining salicylic acid and 10% azelaic acid. So not only is it treating the potential acne spot, but it also is treating dark spots that can occur afterwards because of that salicylic acid and the azelaic acid.
Right. And that's, I think, where we move in the direction of a product with multiple ingredients working towards a common goal, which is always a very nice thing. Almost always give extra points for something cohesive like that.
Great product. Is it the best product? I don't know. We're going to keep going through the potential spot treatments here today, and we'll find out. Next up is Effaclar Duo from La Roche-Posay. La Roche-Posay has been going pretty viral lately.
They have, and it's not without reason. reason.
That's true. They have some great products. Cicaplast Balm, Effaclar Duo. They have a range of cleansers we love. Adapalene. Finally getting the hype that they deserve. But this one, the Duo, is sort of an interesting product. Now, I believe it was initially supposed to be a spot treatment, and then eventually they said, hey, you can use this all over the face. It's another combination treatment similar to Skin Fix, where it's 5.5% benzoyl peroxide, but also has lipohydroxy acid, which is like a relative of salicylic acid. They're very similar molecules, so able to absorb in oil. So combo salicylic acid essentially and benzoyl peroxide.
Right. Now, you start comboing ingredients, you're like in this whole new space. I like it. So I think it can be effective, 2 effective ingredients. Now, you did say something interesting. You'll find that a lot of your acne ingredients would do actually double as your prevention and reactive treatment. So if you're already using some of these ingredients in your acne routine, you don't necessarily have to like add it 5 times a day or something for your spot treatment. You're already using it. So you're looking for something additional to what you're already doing.
Strong product can be irritating for people when you're using it all over the face, especially in the comments. People are like, this either completely cleared my skin or it was too irritating for me, right? Who knows which one you're gonna be, but as a spot treatment, I think this is going to be very, very effective.
I like this too. This is like a lighter weight. This is a lighter weight one. This goes far. A little bit would easily coat your whole face with this.
Now, I think the products are different depending on what country you're in, which just sort of adds to the frustration of the recommendation. And they also have like Effaclar Duo Plus, which I believe has like fragrance in it. So I would just go with the regular Effaclar Duo as far as I'm concerned. And I think that the one in Europe doesn't have the benzoyl peroxide. So the US version is what we're talking about here today. I know this is...
La Roche-Posay, get your life together. The fact that you have multiple products with the same and different names across the world and like changing them out across the world different times, it's a mess. Also, I just realized I put benzoyl peroxide on myself and we're wearing dark colors, so I'm gonna go rinse this off before we continue.
Oh, so now you think it bleaches stuff?
Yeah. Always did. You can't ruin these. This is my only pair of this size scrubs in this color. That's why I can't ruin these. And that's the story with most of my scrubs.
Next up, there's just pure 10% benzoyl peroxide spot treatments that are out there. So Clearasil has one. You can find these pretty much at any drugstore in the world. I think this was what used to exist back in the day. I think that was like the only product when I was growing up. They didn't have these like really interesting combination therapies. They didn't have sulfur. They didn't have acne patches. To me, I feel like the technology has moved away from the 10% benzoyl peroxide, but it's a strong concentration of benzoyl peroxide, does fight acne, is anti-inflammatory to some degree. So not a bad option, but is it the best? Who knows?
Honestly, if you're not using it all in your routine and your skin can tolerate, you probably should. It's like definitely something to consider adding.
Now the last thing, and we have to talk about these, patches in general, hydrocolloid patches, right? So pimple patches. Again, something that didn't exist when I was growing up. Very cool technology. They take hydrocolloid, which has been used for many years in wound healing in general, so it's been shown to be very good in wound healing, and they said, hey, why not make it a little patch that covers up a pimple? Now they have these new things coming out over here, which are like these ones that cover your whole face, like just gigantic acne patches. Don't do this, okay? You don't need to do this. I don't think that's actually really great for the skin to use them all over your entire face, to be honest. You really don't want something that's 100% occlusive over your entire face all night or anything like that. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but as a spot treatment, I think it's a good option. Mighty Patch has ones that are medicated. That specific, the original, is not medicated. That's actually the one that I prefer. It's less irritating. What I love about pimple patches is that they cover and treat at the same time, but they also keep you from picking at your acne, which is the reason why a lot of people get scarring, is because they pick at their acne. So it's something that keeps you from picking. Now, here's another pimple patch option.
So this uses a microdart. The stratum corneum is a big barrier for ingredients getting into the skin, and this uses like very, very, very small, minute. It's not particularly painful to put it on, and it just helps the penetration of the ingredients. Now, hyaluronic acid, peptide 76. Peptides, again, annoying. Every peptide does something unique. Salicylic acid, niacinamide.
You know why I don't like this? Okay, They give you this wipe, right? They want you to use the wipe to clean your skin before you apply the patch. Guess what's in this wipe, okay? Alcohol. Pure rubbing alcohol. Followed by tea tree oil, which he's a huge fan of, I'm not a huge fan of, so this is where the dichotomy exists. It's just a common allergen, but also is effective in treating acne, so I understand his point too. It's not unjustified. You take this little thing, you get one little thing per pack. Look at the pack within the pack. There's an unboxing for a pimple patch that's occurring over here. Then they're so obvious once you put them on to me. Look how gigantic this thing is.
Yeah, but wouldn't you sleep with it, right? I mean, I can't see it at all. Where'd it go?
Not my favorite. But maybe it's the best one of the night. Who knows?
Right.
This didn't even stick because I'm too dewy.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Maybe I should have used
used
the pure rubbing alcohol on my face before.
So they have this, and then they also have a version that's dedicated to the dark spots thereafter. And so it's kind of like this combination thing. This one with the salicylic acid, and that's really the heavier lifter here. The niacinamide may be helpful to help erase the zits. I actually like the other one for the dark spots better. I think it's helpful for getting rid of the dark spots too. But these are also kind of pricey for this brand in particular. Prices are quite different, but I like that it enhances the penetration. I think that's functionally something you would want in an emergency treatment. You don't want to always be spot treating your acne. You want to be in a place where this is the exception. Your usual is it's pretty clear, and then you're like, oh crap, something popped up and I have a wedding tomorrow or pictures, or it's just there and I want it gone in a couple days. That's what this is for. And so that the whole price thing doesn't bother me too much because you shouldn't be using this on a regular basis.
Okay, there's one last thing I want to say. Pimple patches aside, pimple patches are a great option. I really think that one of the breakthroughs, I think, in skincare over the last 2-3 years. Now, last thing I want to mention, and no one's quoting me on this, I'm gonna like move so no one can cut and chop me into the edit here, but ultimately, how I feel is that you can also use like hydrocortisone on a pimple, like right before an event. Like if you have like a wedding and you need a because we do inject, like I don't want this taken out of context. I know this showed up on a TikTok. So if you came into our office, you had a gigantic pimple and you needed it gone tomorrow, we would potentially inject it with a corticosteroid, with Kenalog, with dilute Kenalog to calm it down right away. Now, you could use topical hydrocortisone or a topical steroid on a pimple. It would knock down the inflammation faster than any other treatment we've talked about so far. So if it was like your wedding day, I would say you could use this. This is not a long-term solution. You do not want to use this for more than one day. There's a lot of side effects to steroids, and it's not treating the underlying cause of the acne. It's just going to get worse eventually, but in a hurry, a topical steroid, not a terrible idea.
I completely agree with everything you said. It deserved all of the qualifications, but if you're really just speaking purely in terms of efficacy for that emergency wedding day zit, we would be remiss if we didn't actually bring this up to you. Because if you're just saying what's the most effective option, this is a one-off, I have my wedding tomorrow, like, can you please help me? This can be very effective. And again, everything used judiciously with forethought. But this can be extremely helpful.
That kind of sums up the different options, which there's a lot of options out there, and a lot of them are good options. So the question is, which wins the Doctorly Award for Best Vanishing Act, Best Pimple Spot Treatment? Should we confer?
We need to confer. We haven't talked about that. We don't know.
Best Vanishing Act, it's actually a duo with supporting character role. The Best Vanishing Act goes to La Roche-Posay Effaclar Duo, co-starring with the Mighty Patch.
So La Roche-Posay Effaclar Duo, it's the 5.5 benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid. It's good. It brings multiple things to the table, uses 2 highly effective ingredients, and I think it would be complemented very well with something with a unique mechanism. And so the hydrocolloid patches, which zits do you like hydrocolloid patches for best?
So I like those for ones where the pimple is closest to the surface. Like it's right on the verge of being ready to come out. You see, not deep-seated ones, not ones that are more comedones, but like an inflammatory bump that's really close to the surface that you really want to pop. That's the pimple patch one.
Exactly. So it's for the zit that if you go through the day long enough, someone's going to come alongside you and pop it for you. That's the zit the hydrocolloid patches are great for. The other ones, the ones that have the microdarts and the dedicated ingredients, those can be useful for that, but those are also useful for the ones that really haven't come to a head yet. And so you can tailor your patch to complement the topical La Roche-Posay. And also, if you noticed, they have different ingredients. So these pimple patches and microdarts also bring not only a unique mechanism, but also different ingredients that aren't present in the La Roche-Posay topical. So boom, broke it. Totally new combination. This should be very helpful for a lot of people.
I think this is a good option. This is the award. We'll drop it down below. Let us know if you like this award and what category you want us to review next for best of the Doctorly's awards.
Yeah.
We haven't come up with a perfect name for it yet. Just bear with us for a little bit. Again, thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Definitely check them out. Like we said, betterhelp.com/Doctorly, save 10%. And definitely take care of your mental health. So thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate you just being a part of us on this journey and this community. So thank you. And we look forward to building all of this with you over the next year.
See you in the next video.